Being average is easy. That's why majority of the world is average. Okay? Okay? Oh, how could you call someone average? What do you mean average? That's not very nice of it. There's nothing wrong with average. Okay? Average does not mean bad. Average, the word average is associated with something negative. You know what I've realized about society? Society has created negative connotations for words that's not exactly negative. Average is not bad. Majority of the world is average. In the amount of money they make, in the way that they look, and the things that they do, and lifestyle, majority of the world is average. Average is not bad. Which is why when people are collecting data, they go with the average, the middle. Average is not bad. Average is not bad. Just like selfish is not bad. If you don't have a healthy level of selfishness in your life, people will run you into the ground. The word is giving a negative connotation where, selfish means you're evil. You only care about yourself. Yeah, that's one extreme of it. But the other extreme means you put yourself first, because if you cannot pour from an empty cup. Selfish is part of self-preservation. Men understand that. That's why a lot of times in marriages, it's usually the woman that leaves before the husband does. And I mean, leave the land of the living, because she keeps putting him first. And he keeps putting himself first too. That's why he's healthy and she's full of different illnesses. Which is why I say women have to have a level of selfishness to practice self-preservation. Being average is not bad, but being average is easy. Being average is easy. It's very easy, which is why most people are average. Which is why if someone is above average, people are going to try to tear you apart because of it. It's easy to just go to your job. It's easy to just get up every day and do the bare minimum that the rest of the world is doing. Being average is easy, which is why most people will always be and leave the land of the living as an average person. Being average is easy. Which is why when you remove yourself from the masses, and you remove yourself from the majority and you become the minority, the price of that is hostility. Being average is easy. Most people can get out of being average, but they're just not willing to put in the work. They don't have the discipline, structure, order, emotional balance to not be an average person. Being average is easy, which is why when you're not average, you're the above average worker. You're above average in the looks department. You're above average in your lifestyle. You're above average in your neighborhood and demographic. You will be greeted with a big kiss of hostility because majority of people are average. Because being average is easy. Being average is easy. It's what most people in life will settle for. Average. Is it wrong? No. I encourage you guys to not be average in whatever category that may be. I encourage you to push yourself to the limit in whatever it is that you're doing. I encourage you to push yourself as far as you can possibly push yourself. I don't want you all to settle for being average, but being average is easy. And if you're more comfortable with comfort and things being super easy, then you will always get the bare minimum out of life. Yes, Again, the word comfort. Let's dissect the word comfort. That's another word that has extremes to it. And remember, I tell you guys, life is in the gray area. So even with the words people use, words are always used in extremes. Being comfortable is wonderful. Yes, you're in your bed, you're comfortable. Your neck isn't hurting, you're comfortable. Yes, you're in a safe environment. You're comfortable in that environment. That's great. But comfort can also be destructive and cause you to not reach your goals. If you're too comfortable with where you are in life and you're not willing to push yourself, that can give you a life that you probably did not want if you went a little harder. So being comfortable is not always a positive thing. Just like the word humility. The word humility is also used in extremes. Humbling someone. Okay, being a humble person, that means you have a humble heart. You don't go through life, just being a a-hole to people. But at the same time, some people try to humble you in a negative way where it means to lower. Humble means to lower. I'm humble before God, but I'm not going to allow someone to come in my life and try to humble me, male or female. I'm not going to allow that. So that word, all for me is I don't want you guys to be average though. We serve an infinite God. We are gods, little g. It's in the Bible. We're all gods, by the way, little g. And we serve an infinite God that you really can be above average. You really can be superior in whatever area that is, whether it's business, whether it's your bodybuilding, whether it's creating generational wealth, your spiritual life. You can be above the average person. The question is, are you willing to do that? The way that we stamp limitations on ourselves and the way we settle for average, because average is all we've ever seen in life, it's mind-boggling to me. You're sitting here asking God for 2 when he can give you 2 million. Being average is easy. I want you guys to understand. That's why most people are average, because it's easy to be average. It's easy to just get up and work your 9 to 5 and come back home and not pay attention to your dreams. It's easy to just grab some man because you just want to be with somebody and have that white picket fence persona of a family, but you're not happy. But it's easy though. That's why you did it. Being average is easy. Not putting your heart and soul into your craft and doing the bare minimum like everyone else, it's easy to be average. Your goal should be to fight to be above average. In whatever it is that you're doing in your life, fighting to be above average. Because one day you will lay in your bed and soon about to take your last breath in the land of the living, and your whole life will flash before you. And you will think about all the times in your life that you didn't go for it, that you gave the bare minimum, that you didn't push yourself as far as you could have pushed yourself, that you didn't be the best you, the best mother, the best daughter, the best sister. You decided to be average because it was easy. Average is easy. Comfort is easy. Settling is easy. It's easy. Stop picking what's easy, because nothing worthwhile is going to come to you easy. Everything that's worth it will require you to fight to be better than anyone else around you in order to have it. Being average is easy. Because when you are above average, people are going to work really, really hard to dismantle you. It's lonely at the top, but it's discouraging at the bottom. So I'd rather be at the top, though. I meet people when I have my calls with you guys. It really hurts me. It really breaks my heart when I talk to both men and women. And the way that you guys I'm listening to you on the phone and you have potential to be great, but it's like you don't see it. You're just comfortable with the averageness of your life. That even happens to Black women. Let's talk about Black women. I've always been humiliated, targeted, and pursued because of my standards as a Black woman. I don't need to be the average Black woman. With that comes with the toxic family unit, dealing with a toxic man, not showing up as my best, allowing my mind to be infiltrated with the negativity online towards Black women, deciding that I'm going to surpass that, I'm going to transcend, I'm going to ascend, I'm going to move away from that. And yes, I get hit with ridicule for not being the average Black woman and fighting to be better, because I have a whole generation coming out that's going to come behind me. And I need to set that standard of not being average. Do you guys get what I'm throwing? Being average is easy. That's why majority of the world are average. Majority of people are in average relationships, average lifestyles, because being average is easy. But ascending and being above average, having an above average GPA, having an above average test result, above average. When you went and took that test, you're the only one that got a 98, while the average of the whole class was 75. I remember there was a time when this was a while ago, y'all. I thought I was determined to become a physician's assistant, okay? So I was taking a lot of bio classes. And at that time, and it's amazing how you see God had something completely different for me. In my mind, I thought I was going to be in scrubs and drawing blood and, I remember I was taking a bio class, and we all know bio is not easy. College bio, microbiology, all that stuff, physiology is not a joke. But I said, I'm not going to be average. I'm going to push myself. When I tell you, you would come in my room and there were papers everywhere. Textbook copies, diaphragms, diagrams. You look on my wall, you see papers on my wall. I have a big whiteboard where I go in and I label different parts. Like, my room looked like a tornado hit it. My car was filled with study papers. And when I would go to the gym at 5 a.m, I had my textbook laid out flat on the treadmill. As I'm working out, I'm reading and I'm listening to jazz and I'm registering the information. And I go in the class and we take the final exam. And before I leave, my professor said, hold on, I want you to stay after class, okay? Let everyone leave. I want you to stay after class. I said, okay, hopefully I'm not in trouble. He said, I'm in shock. And I'm like, why? He's like, this class has 45 people and everyone here got a C and you got a 99%. How did you do that? And he said, you're the most quiet person here. Like, I don't see that you're in the groups. You're not in the study groups. You're not in anything. How did you do that? I said, because I have decided that I'm not going to be average. I decided that I don't want to fit into the average of other people, because God is supernatural, and I know he can give me supernatural abilities to study. My brain is supernatural. So I made sure that I pushed myself, because it's not about competing against the other people in the class. I just don't want to be average. I grew up around people who settled for average because it was easy. I don't want to be average. I'm not going to feel good about myself if I settle with being average. because that means I didn't push myself enough. And he looked at me and he said, wow, that is a very beautiful, 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 beautiful perspective. And I said, thank you. I appreciate that. And in that moment, I realized not being average will get you in certain rooms. Not being average is what will help you stand out amongst the crowd. Being average is easy. That's why majority of people are average. They will always just go for what's the easiest because it's average. Dare to dream bigger. Dare to have the audacity to want more, to perform better, to get better. And don't be weak either. Don't be weak, y'all, because people are going to try to come after you when you decide that you're not going to be average. So please don't be weak, okay? And start complaining about what other people are doing. They're always going to try to do something. That's how people are. What matters is, are you focused or not? Being average is easy.